entrepreneur and founder of Glenborn Partners LP, Ravin Gandhi. Ravin, great to see you. Welcome to the show. So you were a Democrat for about 20 years. What made you move to the right?
I would say the difference between rhetoric and results. I think I voted for Obama twice because he made me feel like a good person. But when you start to get all the data that you have to see on X, unfortunately, you see that a lot of these policies simply don't work. I mean, and now when you talk about like socialism, you know, I'm an entrepreneur. I started a business from scratch that did over $100 million in sales. We did 40 million Americans every day used our product. How did I do it? Capitalism. And the fact that now my former party is has so much sympathy for capitalism, I find to be galling. I find it unbelievable, particularly given that 47% of all the dollars our government spends today is on entitlement programs. Yet we have to hear about this affordability crisis. So I find that to be completely nuts.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. Speaking of your business, I mean, what would happen to your business if those, socialistic policies were implemented?
Oh, my God. I mean, capitalism is the #1 way humans have figured out to lift themselves up. Why? Because it galvanizes people's self-interest, okay? The reason we had millions of people using our product every day was because Americans demand the highest possible quality at the lowest possible price. And everywhere that the government seems to put their fingers, whether it's healthcare, whether it's, college tuition, those costs go up and to the right. And everywhere that you let the free market work, like in software or in electronics, it goes completely down. What I find most nuts, again, about my party is the way that so many of my smart liberal friends, they just discount the DSA. They say, oh, it's a flash in the pan. It's not a big deal. And so they say, oh, look at a guy like Andy Beshear. He's reasonable. He's a red state governor. So then I look at Andy Beshear and I see him on the Sunday shows talking about getting rid of the Electoral College. So I just am really worried that the Democrats have gone too far, and they need to understand that independents like me are disgusted by socialism. It is a one-way ticket to misery, death, famine, and the destruction of countries.
Yeah, and wish more people would see this. You mentioned Obama. You said, it kind of made you feel good. What are your thoughts on progressive policies versus, compassionate outcomes?
I mean, look, I thought I was a compassionate person, which is why I was a Democrat, right? So you look at where we are today. People talk about the affordability crisis. What is the policy? The policy is socialism. People talk about on the DSA, immigrants built America. What is the policy under Biden? An open border, letting tens of millions of migrants in. People talk about, we have an equity problem. What is the policy they're running on? Defunding the police and abolishing the Senate. That is nuts. People say that, and the DSA, we have a systemically racist issue in this country. What is the policy that they've espoused? A welfare system that creates an incentive that has basically created millions of kids who don't know their dads. It's nuts. So I would just say this to everybody left of center. I am compassionate, and I know you're compassionate, but it is not compassionate to foist policies upon a group of people that hurt that group of people. We need in this country to be focused less on soaring rhetoric and more on results and more on policy.
Yeah, what do you make, Ravin, of the younger generation really gravitating to socialism? And what do you think Republicans need to do to counter that?
Okay, so I have this discussion all the time because I have so many of my smart liberal friends, and they're super smart people, but the word Donald Trump makes their head explode. They say he's evil. They can't, they're blinded by it. And what I would say to them is Trump's going to be gone in 2 years. Look at where the puck is moving in both parties. Do you like the direction? And what I would tell them is, as a compassionate person, we are all trying to bring people out of poverty. Donald Trump passed the Invest America Act. These so-called Trump accounts, they give $1,000 to every low-income kid in the S&P 500. That policy is going to probably lift more kids out of poverty over time than any progressive policy over the last 20 years, but you never hear about it. The mainstream media has bias by omission. They will not say anything good about Donald Trump. One of the big problems in this country is a lot of people aren't invested in our stock market. There are projections that these Trump accounts could take that number from 50% invested to the low 70s. That is transformative. And what is it using? It's using capitalism. So I'm not telling you to love Donald Trump. I'm just simply saying, if you are a red-blooded American, my God, say something. Socialism is an absolute disaster, and there's only one party that's talking about it, and it is not the right.
Yeah, and it is just common sense. Ravin Gandhi, great to be with you. Thank you so much for weighing in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you guys like hearing about this stuff, tune into my podcast, Origin America.